Well, hello besties, welcome to Fem Nature. It's London if you're new here. I help women shift from burnout to the soft life through self-care, self-love, and glow tips. Now, if that is something that you're interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button and join the Lux Babes. And let's get right into it. This video is all about stop living a mediocre life. Yes, if you're sitting at home, doom scrolling, you're in your bed rotting, you're complaining to your friends on why your life is not exciting and as vibrant as you want it to be, that means you are living a mediocre life. And don't worry, I've been there and I'm going to tell you how to get out and start living a more fulfilling and fruitful life. I know I'm not the only one that looks at other people's lives and think, oh my God, they're able to dine out to fancy restaurants, hang out with their friends at these extravagant events, travel to these luxury hotels and buy the latest designer handbags, and they're just living a full, vibrant life. I know I'm not the only one that would think, oh my God, their life is so much better than mine, and be sad and then sit and steady consume more and more of that content that will make me feel bad about myself. We've all been there. And then you will start to think, my life is kind of sad. My life is boring. My life is mediocre. And some part of that might be true. Your life can be mediocre, but I'm going to tell you why it's feeling mediocre. Your life is feeling mediocre because you are constantly watching other people live their life. Yes, you are brain rotting to other people go outside and live their lives. You're sitting there comparing their lives to yours, and comparison is the thief of joy. Their life may seem like it's better than yours, but you also have the potential to live a very fulfilled, fruitful life. Maybe it's not on an extravagant level as theirs is, but you still have the opportunity to transform your life and have a more fulfilling lifestyle that you're excited about, that you're proud of, because you curated it yourself. Now, your life could feel mediocre because you're not doing enough with your creativity. You're not doing enough on your spare time. You are not doing enough on the day-to-day basis. You might be going to work, and then after work you might just go home and doom scroll and watch other people live their lives. The difference between other people and you is that they're actually getting outside and doing stuff. Instead of going home from work, they're probably going to hang out with their girlfriends. They're probably going to go to an event. They're probably going to pick up a craft and, do a little hobby or two. They're probably going to stop at their favorite cafe and romanticize their life. That's why I tell all of you ladies it is important to romanticize your life, because without romanticizing your life will feel dull and your life will feel dry. That is why you need to romanticize your life. If you want to live better, you have to do better. Stop making excuses onto why you can't go out. I was having a conversation with my friends, right? We hold each other accountable. We give each other advice because we all want to glow up and we all want to be our best versions of ourselves. So we was having a conversation on some parts of our lives feel very dull and some parts of our lives don't feel as fulfilling as it should be. But I had to take a step back and I'm like, okay, our lives are not feeling as exciting as it could be and should be because of what we're doing, because we are not living up to our true potential. We're steady working, we're trying to reach our goals, but that's not what life is all about. You need to have some playtime, some playfulness, some adventure, some creativity. You need to have these things to make your life feel so fulfilling, because at the end of the day, time goes by, whether we're realizing it or not. The days go by, the calendars change, months go by, and you don't want to look back and feel like, wow, I'm still not having a very fulfilling life. And it's all because we are not putting intention into our lives. From my friend's conversation, I had to tell everyone, like, I want to challenge us, I want us to start really romanticizing our lives. I want to shift into that woman that, she has a schedule, and her schedule is not just jam-packed with work. Her schedule is jam-packed with a lot of things that are fun, fruitful, playful, exciting. She has a full calendar. So instead of just working and going home, let's go out on the weekends. I've been watching Sex and the City, and I never watched it before, but I've been binge watching the series, and I am very inspired. These are grown women in their 30s. Mind you, me and my friends haven't even hit our 30s yet, but these women have inspired me to know that in your 30s, you can do anything. You could always hang out with your girlfriends, have extra activities that you got going on, work out. Their bodies in the Sex and the City is very tea, okay? Carrie's body, tea. Miranda's body, tea. Samantha's body, tea. All of their bodies look good. So it's like they're taking the time out to make sure they're athletic and, you know, doing physical activities to make sure they're looking good. They're going to coffee shops to have lunch with their girlfriends. They're going out to dinner. They're meeting people at events. They're doing a lot. Okay? Even though the show is kind of a little male-centered in my opinion, they're doing a lot. So I feel like as women, we need to have a very fruitful calendar. Like, we need a lot of stuff to be happening for us to feel like we're living a fulfilled life. You guys know I talk about strategy all the time because in life you have to be very strategic. You have to do things in a certain way that works for you. I know for me, I get overwhelmed very fast, okay? When I'm overwhelmed, my brain just goes into a freeze state. I shut down. I don't know I don't know what to do next. I have decision fatigue. So I have to be very strategic in ways that work for me. So if I know that I want to start adding more things into my calendar, but I am also a person that gets very overwhelmed, I'm gonna add work and play at the same time. I'm gonna reward myself. So if I'm getting certain things done, I'm going to reward myself after having, you know, a long day at work, recording and editing and pitching and stuff like that. So I'm going to probably take myself out to a little cute dinner or do an activity. Probably go to the library and see what events they have or see what's happening in my city during the weekends. And, you know, add some stuff to my calendar. What I would tell everybody to do is start adding hobbies into your routine. Hobbies are very important, and no, it's not hobbies that you have to monetize to make money off of, because that could be tiring in itself. Not everything you need to sell, not everything you need to get into has to make you money. No, excuse me, enjoy doing things that doesn't have to make you money. If you love blogging and writing, start a blog. Share it with your friends, you know, have a Substack account. Share your thoughts and knowledge with your peers, and you don't have to be monetized to do it and enjoy it. If you love knitting, knit your family some things for the holidays. The holidays is coming up. People want presents and gifts. That is such a thoughtful thing to get a handmade blanket. Like, if my friends knew how to knit, I would ask for a handmade blanket or a handmade anything. Something that is very thoughtful. So if you love knitting, share your knitting. I love painting, so I like to just, you know, vibe out to a paint. I actually need to get more canvases so I can start painting more, but I love doing that. I love creating mood boards and vision boards on Pinterest. That is something that I love doing, and even though it's not like a big activity, that is something that helps me feel fulfilled. I love looking at clothes. I love shopping. I love being around fabrics and jewelry. So I love looking at those things, and I love creating mood boards on Pinterest. Another thing that you can do is start having like a dinner with your friends, probably once a month. Like, share the responsibilities throughout your friend group. So once a month, everybody takes turns on hosting. That's what me and my friends are doing. I was the first one to host a dinner at my home, and it was very fun. It was something that I was like, you know, we should all do it. And they were like, yeah, that is something fun, because as you grow up, you're an adult. You're not able to spend as much time with your friends as you did when you were younger. In high school, me and my friends shared like every day together. We spent every day together. But now that we're adults, we all have lives. We're all striving for different things. We're all doing different things. So we don't have that much time to spend with each other. But taking one day out of the month to kiki, to spill some tea, to, you know, just bond and share stories of life and what's going on in our everyday, that's something that would make you feel more fulfilled, because you're surrounded by people that you actually love and care for. Make your life more fulfilling is pick up an instrument. A lot of people are very musically talented, but they're just not putting in that effort. You can pick up an instrument. I used to play the flute. I used to play the guitar. I used to play the piano, and I'm so mad at myself that I never stuck through with it. I have I used to have an inconsistency problem, so I'm literally trying my best to stop that. But I used to love those instruments, and now as I'm older, I want to pick up an instrument. I want to play the piano and guitar. The flute, I don't know. That'll probably be like the last instrument I'm learning, but that's what I'm putting on my to-do list, is to find an instructor and start learning to play these instruments again and have fun with it. Like, playing an instrument and knowing how to play an instrument is very cool. It is. I want you to start filling in your schedule with things that are fun. Life is not all about working, okay? You need to have some play. You need to add some play. You need to add some creativity, some art, some love, some good food. If you love cooking, get in that kitchen and start mixing and doing all the recipes that actually taste good and feel good. Some recipes might not be a good match, but at least you tried it. You're getting in the kitchen and you're letting your creative juices flow. My mother is a very good chef. She's a very good baker as well. She's always wanted to do that, and that's something that's her hobby. And when she cooks and people enjoy her food, it makes her very happy. So it's just like the littlest things. And I wouldn't say cooking and baking is little, because that takes a lot of time and energy. But doing things that seem so simple is really fulfilling. Like, doing things that are fulfilling is what makes your life feel more exciting. Now, if you want to be able to go out with your friends or travel to 5-star hotels and eat at the high-end restaurants, you can definitely do that. You can. If you have the money, you definitely can. But what I don't want you to do is compare yourself to people that are already maybe 10 steps ahead of you because they started their journey or they were gifted money. You just don't know what people have going on in their lives. So it's not healthy to compare yourself to the next person, because somebody that you're watching on social media, their parents could have died and left them a fortune, okay? They have the money, but their parents is gone. Like, you just don't want to compare yourself to people that you don't know what's going on. Some people are grinding and hustling and not getting no sleep to live out their dreams and buy the latest handbags. So if that's not something that you're willing to do, I don't see yourself comparing yourself to somebody that literally chooses money over sleep, if that's not the lifestyle that you want. So comparison is the thief of joy. We see the glitz and the glamour and the highlight reels of people's lives, but don't deter what you have going on and make yourself feel bad because you're seeing somebody else's highlight. They could have been struggling for years and months, and they're probably living the fruits of their labor right now, but you don't know what they have to go through. We don't know what you have to go through, okay? Every day is a blessing. We have to be thankful for what we have right now, and life is worth living, okay? Doing the simplest things is what makes life amazing. We just have to be thankful for what we have, and life will not feel as mediocre as it feels currently, okay? Once you start being thankful for where you're at now, thankful for your friends, your family, your job, the little activities that you can do, the clothes that you can buy, be thankful. There's so many people in this world that are praying to be in your position. So don't take it for granted. Your life is not mediocre. It might feel dull because you don't have nothing going on except scrolling on your phone, because the phones be the problem. But you should be able to enjoy life. My next thing that I want to touch on is stop letting mediocre people tell you how to live your life. Mediocre people have mediocre results. If you listen to mediocre people that are mediocre by choice, I don't see the point on listening to their advice on how you should live your life if you don't want to live mediocre. So many people want to give me advice on my life, and I don't want to live mediocre. You know, I don't want to live a life that they're living, that they're comfortable with. So I wouldn't take advice from somebody that I don't want to be like, or I'm doing better than, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. It just doesn't make sense. Take what sticks and resonates and just leave everything else that doesn't. Because not everybody understands what you're trying to do. Like, some people might think, okay, what's the point of romanticizing your life? Some people might think I'm crazy for romanticizing everything in my life because I need that to make my life feel like it's worth living. Some people might think, girl, you don't need to do all of that. Like, why are you doing all of that? Would I take their advice? No, because this is my life. I don't want to live a boring life. I don't want to have to come home from a 9 to 5 and that's it. And complain and be miserable. Miserable people make everything miserable. They're always complaining. They're always posting negative things. They're always just miserable. So I don't want to be miserable. That's why I romanticize my life, and I would never take advice from a miserable person. Because what could they do except teach me how to be miserable as well? Mediocre people will make you play small. They will make you not chase your dreams. They will make you stay stuck in a place that you do not want to be. Okay? We can't fault them because their vision is not your vision. Your vision was given to you by God, and other people can't see the vision that God has given you. So mediocre people will make you stuck. And I'm not saying you have to cut off every person that you deem as mediocre. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just have to move strategically and know how to have certain conversations with certain people. And then once it gets negative, you're like, I don't want to have that conversation with you. It's all about the ways that you do things. So mediocre people will keep you mediocre if you allow them to. So if you know you want to live a fantastic life, you just have to put the effort in, the work in, and align to the life that you want to have. But don't allow people to talk you out of the life that you want. So many people talk me out of my dreams every day. I've been called delusional, crazy, self-obsessed, self-absorbed, just so many things. But I'm not going to allow them to talk me out of my dreams, because this is something that I want. This is something that as a little girl I knew I wanted. I don't want a mediocre life, so I'm not going to live it. I don't want to die having a mediocre life because, wow, I wasted all this time. This is the end of the video, but I do want to make note of that I have so many resources for you ladies. I have a starter kit for living the soft life. So that one teaches you what to do to start romanticizing your life and becoming that woman that you want, and having the hobbies and just the access to the things that would make your life feel more fulfilling. I have a free 3-day glow up guide. This is jam-packed with so many information, and it's free $99. Okay, I also have a pretty and polished course, and that is going to teach you how to package yourself and create that perceived value, so you are attracting more opportunities. You're going to attract better opportunities with dating, jobs, careers, and business opportunities. So that is something that I highly recommend if you are a woman that wants to go from drab to fab and know how to work the room strategically. But yes, I say that to say I have so many blog posts, I have so many ebooks and courses that are available to you. So pick which one, read the descriptions to see which one you actually need. And we are on the journey to living a more successful life and a more flourishing life. That's what the Lux Babes is all about. It's a community of women that are striving for the same goals and the same things. That's what this whole YouTube channel is about. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely go to my website. Everything's all there. I made it super easy to navigate. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.